my brain it's been really being damaged, and meaning that the functionality of my brain is getting worse and worse and worse. My gosh, it's bad. It's just comparable to a concussion level of just functionality, but it's also manipulated, right? So they've damaged my brain so much that now it's just bad. Um, Bad in the sense of how my brain is being altered. Uh, it's really bad. I'm really being disoriented and manipulated. Of course, as always, in the degrading ways. They want to paint this false reality, but now they manipulate me in more obvious way and try to use that as the validation instead of be like, if you manipulate somebody in this way, that means these people are like this person, this individual who's targeted is manipulated to the nth degree. I mean, this is getting too obvious, and this was an example of that. Listen, let me just give you just a quick step by step things, step by step experience that I just experienced, and how my brain has been destroyed. I'm watching what you're seeing here. This like short video over there is this guy. He's a very popular YouTuber who women love him. Everywhere he stands, there's always women following him, asking for his number. He's a magnet to women, and all around the country, all around the world, he goes and they are coming to him. It's very entertaining to watch his stuff because it's things that you're confused. I've never seen so many women coming to one man and being so nervous, right? And so this girl coming, right, tattooed up and everything else. I'm thinking she's in her 20s or something like that, and she just behaved the same way. Really nervous talking to him. Really, like nervous and wanting to talk to him. And she says, "Oh, I'm a singer." And in the comment, I'm like, okay. And in the comment, I see somewhere where she's actually a popular British singer. It's like, okay, maybe this is it's a big deal. And I'm thinking she's in her 20s or whatnot, mid 20s or so. And it's funny, they try to mess with me, and so I'm like, oh, let me see what kind of music, how big she is, like how much of like music she plays. She has good music or whatnot. She's like legit. She's got good music. So I go through the discography, basically the albums that she has, singles she had, going through Spotify, right? I go through it. I'm seeing, okay, looks big, it looks like she gave like high numbers and she's somewhat popular. And then the last album comes up, or the last single you see there, and I swear to God, and I actually made a video. No, actually not a video. I recorded me saying what I just experienced. I literally recorded that. I'm recording, and I'm like, man, these people are messing with me. In this cover, because I'm seeing 2009, and I'm like, there is no way in 2009 this person was an adult, because I was barely a 20-some-year-old. So there's no way, like, she minimum had to be a teenager. There's no way she cannot be that much close in age than me, because I'm thinking she's most likely, I'm thinking mid-20s, 25, 26, around that. I think around that age. That's why I started thinking 25, maybe 26, around that age. Mid-20s, maybe pushing closer to late 20s, but in the mid-20s. That's why I thought, right? And as in my brain, they're just trying to mess with me, and I'm like, that is just no way. And in this picture, like, she looked like a teenager, but like a later teenager, maybe even close to young adults. There's no way 2009. I swear I thought I saw 2009. I made a video, an audio saying they're messing with me because this album was in 2009, and it's clear that in 2009 she's no way possible to be like an adult. There's no way. She must have at least been a teenager in this picture. Like, I'm like, she's a teenager of some sort. And then I look back a little bit, and actually I'm like, let me look up more. Like let me look her up on YouTube, And I see a video. I look her name. I guess her name is Giovanna or Lusker or something. I look that up. A first video comes up like that of what you're seeing here in black and white, and I'm like, okay, fine. Who is like? Where is this singer? I'm not singer. I'm not realizing this in black and white is her for a second. I'm like, oh, that's her here. I was like, okay, man. She looked like completely different. Like she looked like a teenager here. They stimulate me, boom. But I'm like, I'm focusing on the 2009 because I'm like, okay, this says 7 years ago. So in 2009, what does it mean? And I go back to the image like, no, then something is off because I'm looking at her age. She's actually younger than I thought. I thought she was maybe like 25, 26. She's 23 years old. So I was like, there is no way. So I go back like this picture, like let me go back to the picture and look at it. It was in 2009. It's 2020. 2020. They made me look at this thing thinking it was 2009. I made a whole video. I made an audio. I made an audio saying these things. That's how my brain is damaged. It's recorded. I'm literally recording me saying that and being angered that they're messing with me because this album came out in 2009. These people, I mean, they literally they want me to think that I'm not being manipulated. They want me to think that my brain is not being altered. This is how obvious things are. They have no shame. You know, lately, especially since yesterday, since yesterday, I've been feeling actual pain on my literally on my on my skull, like something's coming out. Yesterday, my brain felt so concussed, such a concussion-like state of feeling. I was walking a little disoriented. It was really bad, and you know, I don't know if they went extra hard yesterday, but it was just maybe after years of doing the same thing. Maybe that's how we are at this point. But I've seen my skull looking differently. I was like, am I seeing that, or am I just over? Like, I wasn't even sure. But now I can even feel like the fragilized brain. But since yesterday, things like gotten worse. The manipulation is more obvious. To see something, and I swear to God, it was something that started stressing me with. I made like, and this trash are supposed to make you think that you're not being manipulated, right? Their gaslighting is just non-stop. They try to disorient you, brainwash you, and make you identify with this, you know, regardless of how obvious things are. You know, for example, right now, I'm making a video about how I saw this 2020 as 2009. Made an audio, because this is what my audios are like, a reality check. It's a way to vocalize what's happening to me, and I'm so glad I do it, because it gives me an idea of how crazy I'm being manipulated. This is extremely validating of the level of I made a video, an audio, and I keep saying calling it a video, but it's an audio. I made sure to save this as 2009. Talk about how annoying it is that these people are manipulating me. Because in 2009, it's for sure this person must have been at minimum a teenager. Then later on, after making this video, I look back and I'm like, there's no way this 23-year-old today, 2009, looked like that. Because she looked like a teenager, like a late teen, and this, even though like you can see that she's hiding her mouth, she's like, that's no way that. If she's 23, like in 2009, she'll be like a few years old. And look at, And I go back, and it's 2020. The date of the release of this album was not 2009, 2020. Trash around you, contracted by these governmental entities. Live life wanting you to let them think that you're gonna allow them to escape in this. Tracking video, what's happening to my brain is bad. And I've kept saying there'll be a day I won't be able to express myself or articulate myself. But before that, I'll make sure I make all the videos. And then now go back to the other one. So now, they go back to Oniaba in this. This, obviously, if it's 7 years ago, she's definitely a teenager. In later teens, 16, 17, around that age. And you can look at, she actually looked like it. You know, I couldn't even recognize her for being her at first. Like, I didn't even know it was her. I thought it was, this British singer then? I didn't know it was her here, because she's like a teenager here. You can see her like that. They stimulated me and told her, but I'm like, okay. I was confused with the 2009 things first. I kind of let that go. I was like, okay, let me focus on the two, because what 2009, she's like, it just didn't. And I wonder if all along this was a game they were playing to be like, you see, you weren't concerned about the actual, like. And look at her, and they stimulate me. It's intense, but it's manipulated. She will not make me have sexual stimulation like that. She does look like a teenager, you know, very slim side, and they're just trying to, you know, they manipulate me this fashion. But now it becomes a mental battle. It's like, you just made me think that 2020 was 2009. I recorded that. And I'm sure now I understand why they do these things. These mind games, these games they play, is to disorient you and break you down. Because they wanted me to be concerned about this 2009. That's when they do this thing. When I see her like in this thing, which I got this stimulation, I was like, oh, I think it was like this obvious teenager. But I'm not even like focusing on it. For a second, I didn't even know it was her. And then I was like, oh, okay, it's her. Like, that's like, okay, well, she definitely looked like a teen here. But let me just think about the 2009 thing, which was all along 2020, but they made me see the 2009. So the state of my brain right now is so nasty, it's so destroyed. And these people are utilizing this fragilized state to try to break me down. And they're like, no, we mapped it. Our teenagers. Trash. Disorienting me to the point of seeing 2020 as 2009. So I can be confused and disoriented at that level and look up, well, what? There's no way. And be like, there's no way in 2009 she looked like that. What? There's no way. Just things don't make sense. That would mean she's closer to my age, and I don't think so. I think she's like mid-20s or so. And I could just kind of ignore this video of her like covering a song here, because that's where she's actually a teenager, and focus on this 2009 that just doesn't make sense. Because all along this 2009 is not a 2009, as you can see. It's 2020, but they have manipulated my brain to see the 2020 as 2009. They're making me hallucinate almost. Tracking visual. That's clear level of manipulation. They've been destroying my brain while manipulating me in these degrading ways, and then present themselves as the protector of children. And they go through their scripts of things they say to try to make me identify with this, with their failed facade. They are changing my brain. They are changing me to paint these facades and try to play them, present themselves as the protector of children. Clowns. Target visual, stay strong and see these clowns for what they are.